Today I wanted to talk about, if you're not from northern New Jersey originally, even though I'm circling the globe, maybe talk about an idea that's really important, a question that you want to ask. And it could be a little uncomfortable to ask it because it forces you to look at your blog and self-truthfully. That's not fun, right? It was more enjoyable to live in delusion. But before we dive into the video, guys, or the live broadcast, I wanted to share, as you may know or not know, it's a little darker here today, a little overcast. I run a blog called bloggingfromparadise.com where I guide bloggers with smart, simple, to the point blogging tips that help you increase your blogging success on the fundamentals of creating and connecting. So they're genuine, they're straight. Yes, you live your dreams if you follow them. Yes, they work. Yes, they're proven in that it's just what the top bloggers do. Most of them, at least. The genuine ones. So with this whole deal on my blog, I sell blogging courses and blogging ebooks for your guidance. And you will find them at bloggingfromparadise.com. Included the store tab up top, and those are my Gumroad offerings. So I sell everything through Gumroad and PayHip. That's the Gumroad stuff. Course and 3 ebooks over there. One of them's inspirational, one about travel. All right, guys. I see so much struggle in the blogging niche, being a blogging tips blogger. So I help and guide bloggers to thrive, to succeed. So before you succeed, almost every case, or let's say in most cases, you have to identify, own, and forgive or look past and then correct what you're doing now, how you're thinking, feeling, and acting that's creating your struggle. Because the struggle is always starting in your mind with some unconscious or conscious fear. Then you project it on the world. You move into failing action. You make these common mistakes. So it always comes from with guys, even though it appears to be outside of you. And of course, you're going to correct these activities and say, okay, this is why I'm struggling. So remember that as the benchmark, as the base mark, the foundation, the fundamental. The key question here that you want to ask yourself before you do anything with your blog or with social media, or it really can be anything online, but I just included that title because that's all it really fit on Twitter, and we're simulcasting it there too. But really, with your blogging strategy, so everything, anything you do with your blogging strategy online, could be forums, could be creating, whatever. I'm just including blog and social media. Ultimately, it could be blogging strategy. You have to ask yourself, is this activity speaking directly to my one singular targeted reader within my singular niche? And you'll see that most bloggers never ask it. And it's easy to see that because on their blog, on their social media, they keep jumping back and forth between niches. They keep asking random questions. They keep moving away from the one person they need to be speaking to with virtually everything. And it's okay to go off topic rarely. And I mean rarely if you want to chat about offline stuff. Like, that's okay. Rarely, though. I'm talking like really rarely. But when you start talking about businesses outside of your niche, questions outside of your niche, like if you're a blogging tips blogger and you start talking about social media, you're making a mistake, because then you're speaking to people interested in social media. And then the blogging tips readers who are bloggers who want blogging tips are going to say, what the heck is this person talking about? Like, we do this not only on a conscious level, but also on an unconscious level. Like, we want specialists. That's what this all comes down to. So you'll see bloggers who jump between niches: internet marketing, blogging tips, affiliate marketing. That's not a good idea. And they do it with their social media feeds, and they do it with forums they visit, and they do it, and you just look at their updates and you realize they're trying to specialize, or they're trying to generalize. And largely at a level of scale, when you really want to rock this out, the world trusts specialists and not generalists, because generalists try to be a jack of all trades and master none. So you have to ask guys, before you do anything with writing and publishing a post, publishing a single update to any of your social media feeds, does this update speak directly to my one targeted reader? And if you don't have one targeted reader, good luck. We specialize. Would you hire a lawyer who delivered pizza part-time and was a janitor part-time and worked at a daycare center part-time? You hire lawyers who give all their professional attention and energy to being lawyers. Would you go see a doctor who scrubbed toilets part-time and who walked dogs part-time and who worked at a hardware store part-time? They were a doctor for like an hour and a half a day. And all of this sounds funny or ridiculous until you look at most bloggers and they do the identical thing with their blogs, with their social media feeds. They're all over the place. It's like, instead of seeing like a straight shot, like someone pinpointing, like a straight shot, here's the target, boom, straight. Imagine someone, the arrow, Legolas, perhaps. The arrow, boom, straight shot. This is it. This is my target. I'm talking to this person. Develop sense of expertise and authority. I'm specializing. They trust me. It's what I do. It's the one thing I do. I do it inside out. I know this. I'm the expert. I'm the blogging tips guy. That's what people trust. Instead of doing that, it's like seeing someone putting on a blindfold, taking a fire hose and blasting it left and right and not hitting anything, trying to hit everybody. And then the world responds to you, your alleged tribe, readers, people who come to your blog and say, what the heck does this person do? And how are they going to help? Oh, they're all over the place. Goodbye. That's how it goes. Yeah. And not just with your blog. Social media has to be one message throughout everything you do. And yeah, it requires a lot of mental clarity. And again, look up and down your Twitter wall and say, why am I not sticking with one niche? Now, if you want a practical example, and I self-sabotaged and punished myself unconsciously, and maybe a little consciously, for a very long time, but over the past 6 to 12 months, probably in that period of time, but just look back over the past 3 weeks or the past week. Look up and down my Twitter feed if you're on Twitter. Now, YouTube, I do break this rule a little bit. Guilty as charged, because this is one platform where my readers and YouTubers are telling me, both through feedback and worldly, not even popularity, but likes and comments, and that they want travel videos, that they want travel shorts. You know, I'm getting thousands of views on these shorts, and comments, and oh, we love these, and keep them coming. So YouTube, I do break this a little bit, and that's okay. Breaking it a little bit, maybe a little more frequently there, but they're telling me. But then check my LinkedIn and check my Facebook, and you're going to see like 99% of my updates, maybe more, like almost every single one is just about blogging tips. So then I get messages and comments on my blog, and comments on social media, and messages on Twitter, and tweets, and messages on Facebook and LinkedIn. Hey, I saw your blogging tips update. Hey, I see you help bloggers. Hey, I see you. I need your help. Hey, I stopped by your blog. I loved your ebook. I bought your ebook. I bought your ebooks. I followed your blog. I follow blog. Look at my feeds, guys. Is there any confusion about what I do? That's all I do, virtually, most of the time. There is an immense power in specializing, but it starts, you only start specializing when you ask this question and say, do all of my social media updates, do all my blog posts and social media updates speak to one targeted reader? And you got to look at it honestly. And almost everybody watching this on Twitter, most bloggers watching this on Twitter, and most watching on Facebook and most watching on YouTube, I've seen your feeds. I know that sounds a little perverse. Like I'm watching in the background, sneaking, lurid. No. And I see that you guys move around. Maybe not a lot, maybe a little bit, in a lot of cases, a lot. Social media, trying to sell something from outside. If you really hustle and build a tribe, you'll have some success. Usually you'll struggle, fail, and quit. In rare cases, you'll have muted success or just some success. If you just would pick one niche and stick to it, slowly but surely everything would accelerate wildly. And it's not about worldly greed. It's about being truly helpful and letting people know that you do one thing. So you could be most helpful, most truly helpful. And yeah, the freedom and the peace of mind and the worldly success. And there's less chaos up here, and you're not trying to be a jack of all trades. You're not trying to cover multiple niches. The world will respond because they're like, you're that guy. You're that gal. You help me with this one thing. And you look up and down your board, you're like, that's what you do. And I've been saying this for a very long time, but somebody on a board on Facebook asked for feedback. And goodness knows, she was the first blogger I'd seen on that group in months that literally had her one niche. She had a single niche, and she had the keyword or a word related to the keyword, directly related to the keyword. Let's just say the one keyword, what her niche is about. Well, I'll share it. It's about journaling. Every freaking title. Journaling, journal, how to create a journal. I'm like, bingo, bravo. She's the first blogger I've seen do this. That's it. That's like the core fundamental. So everything she's doing through her blog, I didn't check her social media. It's only about journaling. I knew right away, she could help me with journaling. Now, she's beyond cooking with gas now, but if she's doing that on social media, if every update's only about journaling, or 99% or 95%, that where your attention and energy grows. If you give it to one niche, it's going to grow. And you got to be patient, but you're going to see like, oh yeah, there's so few bloggers do this. That's why I'm shining. So a couple weeks back, and again, guys, this is just reader feedback, and it shows that this concept, quote unquote, works, that it's proven. One of the top bloggers in the world famous, said something about blogging and having to use podcasting because blogging by itself is not enough anymore. And some of my tribe, one of my tribe members, tweeted at the end, I forget what network it was, and he mentioned how I said blogging is enough from the perspective. Now, this is the reader's perception. I mean, this shows what happens when you specialize, that I was the top blogging tips blogger in the world. I deeply respect this other blogger, and I don't think I am from an egoic, but my point is it shows you when you specialize in one thing, in his eyes, I'm the authority. And from level of clarity and expertise and knowing it inside out, I wouldn't say that I am, because there are other rocking blogging tips bloggers compared to this other dude. Yeah, I know blogging because I cover it inside out and I've been doing it for such a long time. And so the reader perceives, I'm the authority. So he would not so much trust me over this other blogger, but this other blogger still goes between niches. And this isn't egoic. I'm just talking about how the world perceives you. You see, when you do one thing, people are going to say you're the tops in the world or one of the top 5 or 10. I don't hold this judgment. I don't see myself in that light. Yet, I just see the more I focus on this one niche, that the world perceives me that way. So when I share one update, like right now, this is going out on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook with the blogging hashtag or a blogging keyword. So then that's just boom, it's out there. And I publish one update to Twitter. I take an update, tweet-worthy, or say tweet-worthy, but that length, and I share it to Twitter, sometimes with the blogging hashtag, my Facebook profile, 3 Facebook pages all about blogging tips, and run a bit off one, but whatever. my Blogging from Paradise group on Facebook. I'm all about blogging. My Blogging from Paradise group on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile, and 1 or 2 LinkedIn pages. So if I do it on 2 groups related only to blogging, that's 10 blogging updates, multi-purpose from one across various channels. Now, of course, I engage through all these channels. I'm not just doing that all day long, but it gives you an idea when it's just blogging tip, only about blogging tips, only about blogging and share. And 10 updates here, 10 there, up to 100, up to 200. It's not so much the volume, but it is me being in a lot of spots, only talking about blogging tips, and that's all I do. Then they visit my blog, and it's about blogging tips and blogging, and then they're like, oh, this is such a secret to success that but I had to look at my updates and be like, why am I talking about affiliate marketing? This is last year or the year prior. Why am I talking about personal development? I'm the blogging tips guy. And I looked at my social media updates and I jumped around a lot. Why am I tweeting stuff from other bloggers when it's about affiliate marketing or TweetDeck or just about Twitter and not blogging? And I'm like, oh boy. Now, bloggers that have had worldly success covering multiple niches, it's working for them always because they already have a massively huge tribe. And even though it appears to be working, and you'll say, no, but it is, if they pared down and covered one niche, everything would accelerate violently from there. And it's okay. Like, they can do it. I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying if you pick one niche, everything will accelerate. And even for these high-level pros, it would accelerate. It's just the basic law of the mind, guys. Where your attention energy goes, grows. But I'm advising for you, even if you're experiencing great success, once you do one thing, that's going to grow, which means covering one niche inside out, because you'll start tackling it. So when a blogger's covering affiliate marketing and their updates on social media on their blog about affiliate marketing, then Twitter, then Facebook, then blogging tips, when someone visits their blog and sees their 5 or 10 or 30 blogging tips posts, they might be like, okay, pretty solid. Then they visit Blogging from Paradise and they see hundreds of posts on blogging tips covering it from all these angles that most of these other bloggers didn't even dream of, because they don't give enough time and attention energy to that one niche. Then they see 2 in-depth blogging courses. Then they see blogging tips ebooks. I mean, I wrote a freaking 70, 80-page PDF guide just on blog commenting. Who does that? Me, because I just talk about blog tips. People buy it, and they're like, that's freaking phenomenal. And they review it, and I get, Neil Patel even linked to some of my ebooks at one time, although I've since switched them all over to Gumroad and Payhip. Don't buy them anywhere else. It's not me. So, like, when Neil Patel says, oh, these are good ebooks, he even wrote an ebook on blog. That's specializing. And even at that point, I hadn't specialized like I do now, but that's the point. You become so good at it. It's the Bruce Lee saying, and I'm going to butcher this quote. So rather than totally destroy the quote, it's not word for word, but Bruce Lee said, you would not fear someone who practices, not exactly, so don't hold me to this, 10,000 different types of kick. So 10,000 different kicks. So the high kick, the low kick. Let me kick high once. Let me kick low once. Let me kick straight out once. No. He fears the person who practices one kick 10,000 times. The world trusts specialists, not generalists. Look at your stream. Are you practicing 10,000 different kicks on your social media streams? This niche, that niche. Let me ask this question. Let me get engagement. No, don't do that. Or are you practicing one kick 10,000 times? My Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook feeds, and my blog, and then, okay, YouTube. Roll a little bit. But those feeds are practicing one kick, the blogging tips niche, 10,000 times and more. That's it. That's where everything starts to pop. Yeah. And it makes sense where your attention energy grows. Do one thing, do it well. Cover it inside out. Always adding to their game. They're just practicing that. I mean, they get into the mental aspect of it and they train, but it all has to do with basketball. That end. Someone like LeBron James or Kobe when he was around on this plane, Michael Jordan, and the guy I mentioned is Kyrie Irving. Everybody's in awe at his skills, or most people are, and some say he's the most skilled guard ever. I watched him when he was a high school basketball player in northern New Jersey, right from my home area, where I grew up. I watched him at the time, St. Patrick High School. St. Patrick. Now the Patrick School, and how much he practiced one kick 10,000 times. These different skills and why he's so good at it now and he's become so dominant. You don't become probably the most skilled all around. All to do with basketball guard of all time by dissipating your attention energy. He would just practice these one move again and again and again and again and again. And I watched it happening at that point. It's a great example, but you'll see the blogging world, the top bloggers do it, or most do, a lot do, and most don't. They struggle, fail, and quit. So ask yourself that question, guys. I'm going to roll. It's already 10:30 here in the illusion of time and space. Lovely Princeton, New Jersey. Look at your social. The question to ask, look at your social media feeds and your blog. And ask yourself, with every single update, am I speaking to my one targeted reader? Am I helping them, communicating with them? For me, it's blogging tips, so I do that all through. And again, check Twitter, check LinkedIn, check Facebook, YouTube, and of course, check bloggingfromparadise.com. All blogging tips, That's my one reader. The world trusts specialists. Generalists, not really. We call them a jack of all trades, and you could have some success with that. And the question to ask, do I want some success and be all over the place? Or would I rather dial in on one niche and over the long term experience not just far greater worldly success and peace of mind and freedom of building a business asset and being known, but being most truly helpful by being a specialist? That's how the world works. We do one thing. Target. You're going to have so much mental clarity and peace of mind by picking one niche. And then you'll see, oh yeah, I could tackle it inside out and be known as the guy or gal or one of the top guys or gals in that niche. And then, yeah. And it's fun because you get the chaos of trying to go all over the place out of your mind and trying to be popular and be this to this person. And you're like, no, this is what I do blogging wise. So guys, that's it for today. Stop by bloggingfromparadise.com. Click on the store tab. I sell blogging courses and blogging ebooks for you to empower you and guide you on your journey. And it is a journey. And I had to experience this personally and the struggles that come with jumping all over the place with all these random social media updates and again, I'm not putting down anybody or condemning or even harshly judging bloggers and even some that have had really success that cover multiple niches. I'm just explaining to you how you could accelerate your success. And these bloggers too, if they picked one niche, things would accelerate because they would stop dividing their attention and energy between multiple. They're not immune from the laws of the mind. Like they're not because they're special. No, they've had success doing that, which is admirable in a way, but why not pick one niche and let everything expand? So life is not about making things tougher and more chaotic. It's about establishing inner freedom and peace of mind and the worldly freedom too, and being truly helpful. And it's like do one thing, specialize through all your social media updates and all your blog posts. And of course, you may have to get honest about your blog and say, oh crap, I gotta cover one thing now and be known for that. Yeah. You gotta start making sense and using logic, guys. So that's it for today. About 25 minutes in. Oh, it's interesting how my YouTube is freezing at certain minutes. It's showing me the illusion of time and space, right? So next time, stop by bloggingparadise.com. Check out my blogging courses, blogging ebooks, store tab up top, and then the other tabs too. Love you guys. You know what to do. Enjoy paradise all.